A major change of events in just a few hours on your third stimulus check and third stimulus package. Yesterday, Joe Biden said we're a couple of weeks away from getting this done. His press secretary said a couple of weeks. Today, Nancy Pelosi said, oh no, my House subcommittees are ready to get this approved by the end of this week. And then I'm ready to call for a vote in the House of Representatives next week. In fact, I have it fast-tracked to get it to the Senate to get it approved by the end of next week. Everything's now changing as congressional leaders hear you, Purple Power, and have stepped up and said, this is taking too long. In this video, I explain what are the provisions and why certain provisions may get changed, according to Joe Biden, and how you, Purple Power, need to get those provisions changed. FPUC Retro, MSC, and SS200, let's get ready to rock and roll. Everything's changing because of you. Finally, we see progress. This is a great afternoon of news on Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Third Stimulus Check and Third Stimulus Package. And in this video, I go over the deal provisions of the Third Stimulus Check and Third Stimulus Package. And for the first time, I'm confident to say we, as the Purple Power, need to step up and can get modification of the language in the Third Stimulus Package. Joe Biden made clear today and yesterday that the language of the Third Stimulus Package can get modified. In fact, Nancy Pelosi confirmed that's what her subcommittee is doing right now. Before I get to the details, please subscribe. This is the only channel that has viewers making changes. The Purple Power has made changes to laws, progress, and legislative efforts since 2020, and now is even more important as we're working on the Third Stimulus Package. It's free to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button on the front of this channel. Also, like this video. Today we're ranking number 1 once again. It helps in the algorithm, believe it or not. Also, hit that alert button so you don't miss a video when I go live. Meantime, if you want to become a member, click that member link. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. The link is in the description, in the pinned comment, and also at the top of this chat. Meantime, I'll be answering some of your 1,400 questions again from yesterday's video. Please drop a comment or question in today's video, and it may be featured in tomorrow's recording. There's so much happening, and in this video I go over why certain provisions of the Third Stimulus Package need to get modified, and what should be modified, and what could get modified. And with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that Joe Biden's team yesterday said, you know what, we're not seeing where we're going to go until a couple weeks are down the road. And as we get to the finish line at the end of a couple weeks, then we'll figure out where to make changes. That was then. Purple Power stepped up. Today, the narrative is totally different. Nancy Pelosi confirms the current status of the third stimulus package bill is totally different than what Joe Biden said yesterday. It is currently now in the House of Representatives, the actual bill. Yes. Just hours ago, I was saying, where's the bill? Keep the bill hidden. Why have you introduced the bill? Nancy Pelosi says now the bill is in the House of Representatives. What is being done with the bill? More good news. It's being worked on in subcommittees. So subcommittees deal with every specific subject of the bill. So you have the SBA, Small Business Administration Committee, dealing with business grants and business loans. You have the one concerning housing and dealing with the rental issues and rental utilities and things like that. This gets even better. She says by the end of this week, the subcommittees should have approval of the provisions and be ready to call a vote for the House. That's how House bills work. Subcommittees say, yes, we're happy with everything in the House. The House committee so approves it. Madam Speaker, the House committee is now finished with its review. The language and the wording and the numbers are fine. Thank you. We're ready for a vote. And once she gets all those subcommittee chairs' approval, she can call for a vote. When? She says she's fast-tracked it and called and told her subcommittees to have it approved by the end of the week, and she's calling for a vote next week, meaning that the bill will be in the Senate next week, meaning the president could have the bill by the end of next week on his table, meaning you could have stimulus within 10 days after the end of next week if Joe Biden signs this bill. This is the bill format. This is not even what's called budget reconciliation, which was not particularly something you would want because it would not have everything that I'm about to cover. It would only have stimulus check and maybe one other item. It wouldn't have everything else. But what Joe Biden has made clear, and now Nancy Pelosi with the subcommittees, is that the bill is up for negotiations. The bill is up for modification. So here's our moment, Purple Power. Hashtag, hashtag, hashtag campaigns. What are the campaigns? Let's go over the provisions that are in this third stimulus package and the ones that need to get modified around the clock. This is the only channel that I have seen that has had access to the Joe Biden 30-page summary of the third stimulus package bill. And so I know the 22-something items that are in the bill, at least, that are currently in the subcommittee. And let me go over each of them, and you can hear where the room for you to argue for modification should be. First, the stimulus check. $1,400 for individuals, $3,200 for adult dependents, $1,400 for children. Not an appropriate number. What should the number be? It should be $3,400 for individuals and should be $5,200 for adult dependents. Why? $1,400 is not the fair amount of stimulus. Let's recap. In fall of 2020, a push started with this channel, with the Purple Power, was to put stimulus in the CR, and we got it in there. But initially there was no stimulus check, so then we put stimulus check or shutdown. And then we got a measly $600 stimulus check in there. We weren't happy. Ultimately, it passed at $600 stimulus check. Shortly thereafter, after the second stimulus package bill was passed, they came back with what was called the Cash Act, a fix-it bill, to fix what they had just done days, hours before. To fix $1,600 by giving you more money to get you to $2,000, to get you to the number 2,000. How are they going to fix it? You had $600 under the bill. Under the law, they were going to give you an additional $1,400 to get you to $2,000. Pretty clear, because $600 plus $1,400 is $2,000. They were to give you $1,400 in December to bring you to $2,000, saying that you should get $2,000. They didn't get it done. So then came January, they said, okay, we will put it in what we're doing now, third stimulus check and third stimulus package, but you'll also get a new $2,000 stimulus check next year under Joe Biden. Ossoff and Warnock, the Democrat candidates out of Georgia for Senate seats, ran on the platform they would give you $2,000 stimulus checks if elected. Joe Biden said he was going to give you $2,000 stimulus checks. AOC said you were going to get $2,000 stimulus checks. And Chuck Schumer specifically made very clear that the third stimulus package, as he understood it, was going to have a $2,000 stimulus check and the Cash Act, the $1,400 stimulus check. Then the bill came out, well, at least the press conference of the bill came out with Joe Biden, and he said a $1,400 stimulus check, to which AOC was not pleased and said $1,400 is not what was promised, and it's certainly not $2,000. And viewers and I were surprised as well. The stimulus check amount should not be $1,400. It should be exactly what was promised. $2,000 plus $1,400, not just $1,400. $3,200 for adult dependents. No, it should be $3,200 plus $2,000 for adult dependents. Next, FPUC and FPUC retro. What is FPUC? FPUC is the unemployment boost that goes on top of UI and PUA. In the first stimulus package, it was $600 a week. It expired in July. On the eve of its expiration, now VP Harris said it's insane that we're allowing $600 to go away, to expire. We need to pass it right away. Millions of Americans need $600 a week. Well, it expired. They didn't get it done. And throughout the rest of 2020, Nancy Pelosi promised you $600 a week. When Joe Biden was elected, in his transition papers, he wrote the number $600 a week. He promised FPUC retro back to the day at which it expired, July, and he promised you $600 a week. Not only verbally, but in writing several times. The current bill proposes $400 a week. It is, and not retroactive, rather forward to September. UI forward to September, and PUA forward to September. Again, this is not what was promised, and that's why we have the hashtag campaign FPUC FPUC retro, in addition to the hashtag campaign MSC. Now let's be clear here. We were promised multiple stimulus checks, not just one stimulus check in 2021. At the moment, we're looking at really no new stimulus check for 2021 at all. All we're looking at is a $1,400 stimulus check in this package that was supposed to be given to you last year, and they're just giving it to you late. Next, the third stimulus package has rent, which is really good, rent for low income and rent for middle class, then also rent for homeless people to get them out of homelessness, utilities, free internet, and childcare. Now, the rent aid really should be very robust, and it should mirror what Senator Harris had said during her time in the Senate. VP Harris, as a senator, introduced her own rent bill. And a rent bill didn't just pay you rent, but it paid you a good sum of rent, and did a series of things that included a department that would help protect you if the landlord doesn't cooperate with the rent program. She foresaw problems with landlords who don't want to accept your rent, whether it's given from the federal government or the government gives it to you. And she thought that there should be additional sums of money for agencies to be set up to ensure that landlords follow the law, and if they don't follow the law, they get prosecuted. So I would ask that that be included as well. Business grants and business loans. So far, we know literally nothing about business grants and business loans. All we know is that the third stimulus package will have business grants for new existing businesses and business loans for if you want to go start a new business. This is what I would recommend. First, the business loan should not be blocked by a onerous credit score number. A lot of viewers were locked out of things through this pandemic because a credit score was not 570 on Experian Vantage 3.0 or was not 560 on Experian on another TransUnion. The credit score limit should not be a blockade for people to get a business loan. PPP, for example, requires no business credit, no collateralization, and that is how the business loan program should work. That's the first thing. The second one is the business grant. The business grant should not disqualify you if you got an EIDL, and should not disqualify you if you got anything before, like a PPP. Finally, people need to be paid their unpaid EIDL grant, whether it's the first stimulus or the second stimulus. Next, hazard pay. Hazard pay and child care and student aid supplement and paid sick leave. But before I get to them, the most obvious one that has to be addressed, SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits. This needs to be done exactly as promised. The promise was the following: $200 a month on top of your SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, and Veterans benefits from now to December, plus a new benchmark different than COLA to reassess your benefits every year, and a new step up one time for a lifetime up to 20%. That needs to be done now. It shouldn't be done later. It doesn't particularly cost the federal government a lot of money to do this. It's absolutely very imperative. It follows the notion of everything I covered in the video before this, where Republicans say, oh, we don't want to spend a lot of money on people who are rich. Well, this is the antithesis of that argument. This is people who are struggling the most financially, the poor, the lowest income people that really need the relief. You don't want to shut them out or leave them out. So this means, in all suggestions of the word, that it seems like this would get complete bipartisan support. Let's turn to hazard pay. Hazard pay is the one video which I think I've made 600 videos of. It's the new hit show every night here at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, where I actually live chat with you on a taped show. Hazard pay, you know, has a series of issues that need to be fixed and a series of items that need to be done. The original hazard pay was $13 an hour from January of 2020 to the end of the pandemic, up to $10,000 if you made less than $100,000 a year before, or $5,000 if you made the year before. I think it should be exactly that way. I think that's totally fine. I think the thing that doesn't make sense under hazard pay is that the boss applies, not you. We now are, almost a year into this pandemic. A lot of bosses have now closed up shops. They have gone bankrupt. They have fired you. They've moved away. And people can't be dependent upon those bosses to apply for your hazard pay for you. It should be dependent upon you and your records of timesheets to get that money. It also should include people as independent contractors. Now let's turn to sick leave and student aid supplement. There's a sick leave that is absolutely wonderful, and I think it should be done exactly as written in the third stimulus package. And I think the student aid supplement is wonderful and should be done exactly as written. That's $1,400 per week for paid sick leave if your child has to stay home and the school is closed because of COVID, but your child is healthy and you're healthy. You have to stay home for work and take care of your kid. $1,400 a week up to. Or a family member's sick, you have to take care of that family member. Or you have to quarantine, or you have COVID. Up to $1,400 a week. It's very good. It should be done exactly like that. Student aid supplement of $1,700 one time. Absolutely should be done. Finally, the child tax credit, the expansion of earned income tax credit, and the child care tax credit. Those are all fine. You have seen me talk about in the last few days, there's a series of very false news reports that says Joe Biden wants to give $300 a month for children. He never said that. He wants to do a child tax credit, which is $3,600, which is the same amount of money. Meaning that if you file the tax return and you trigger that tax credit, the tax credit may prompt a tax refund of $3,600, not $300 a month. He never said that. Let me answer now some of your incredible 1,400 questions from yesterday's video. Danny, Biden's aide can't even tell anyone who Biden has talked to about the stimulus package. Has he even talked to anyone about the stimulus package? He has. In the video before this, I go over the Zoom chats he's had finally. Crystal Moon, they're not after me, they're after you. It's just in the way. Kathy Rivas, this is torture. Everything is talk. Mary L., he's too busy signing those executive orders. That's all they talk about to get elected, praying for the truth. Nancy Jimenez, it's all talk. They don't care about us. It's all about them. It's very sad. Richie Ledford, they all need to get kicked out of the office and start fresh again. Eric Radcliffe, his lopsided Congress is too busy impeaching other people than doing what's best for the country. Pamela says, Pamela Fosna, I'm not surprised. Here we go again. Promises, nothing. Mike Lasco, I've never lived on promises, never should anybody that lives in this country. Renita Jones, first of all, who's President Biden? Or who's the president? Is it Biden or Pelosi? She's running everything. Like before, you see what you got? Well, she's the actual one that's pushing the bill faster this time. Eric Spirit, if anyone did not see the online quote from Biden's, he said the government has failed you. I've been government for 40 years. Hello. Everyone has a really good opinion, and I appreciate it. What's your opinion? Drop in the comments below. I might feature in tomorrow's recording. Meantime, coming up next is Being a Mitch. Join me for that live recording. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. It's free to subscribe. Go to the front of the channel, hit that subscribe button. Like this video, and also consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, a Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, and I'll see you just in a few minutes on Being Mitch. This is Afternoons LALATE.